talking about trigonometry, and for trig, there's actually a class called trigonometry, but we're just going to do like a little piece of it. Okay, so this is 10% of what trig really is, but it's very important that we know it compared to geometry. So make sure you guys have your little note card out too. Just keep it on the side. So trigonometry, the two acute angles of a right triangle each have these words: sine, cosine, and tangent. Those are the initials, or the abbreviations. The first one looks like sin, but it's pronounced sine.
So what's the last one?
T-A-N, tan. So sine, cosine, and tangent. Alright, so let's look here. In your trigonometric ratio, the ratio of two sides of a right triangle could be a number. It has a special name. It helps you find the missing side or angle of a right triangle. So here we go. Sine, cosine, and tangent. These are those letters. Alright, so sine means, and just write this down for now, that we have the opposite over hypotenuse. Alright, your cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. And tangent is going to be opposite over adjacent. Those words should be very important. You guys write this down? Alright. So there's this saying called SOHCAHTOA. Okay? If you look here, SOHCAHTOA basically is like a little, it's like a mnemonic device, a little trig thing that we can help remember what we're supposed to know. So I want you to just circle the first letter. So circle the S, the C, and the T. Alright, if you look at your trig functions up here, sine, cosine, and tangent, which one do you think matches the S and SO? Sine. What about the C? Cosine and then T. Tangent. Okay, so here's what we are doing. When we have SOHCAHTOA, we are looking for this first letter tells you my trig function. So this is going to be sine. And we always have an angle here. So let's just say sine of x. I gotta write this down. Alright, and if we look at my sine function, I need opposite over hypotenuse, right? So let's write that down. Opposite over hypotenuse. I will typically always abbreviate this. Unless you guys feel like writing it out. Alright, so that's the SO. The COS part means my cosine. So we have COS of x. Alright, and this SOHCAHTOA, your first letter is your trig function. Your next two letters are telling you what to divide. So what is A over H? Compared to these words that we already used. Adjacent over hypotenuse. Good. You guys struggle with that word so much. Alright, adjacent over hypotenuse. The last one is tangent, so that's going to be tan of whatever angle I have. And that TOA is O divided by A. What is my O? Opposite divided by adjacent. Good. We know that adjacent means like side by side, right? All right, so let's grab your little note card that you have. Make a square on here, but we're gonna try. That's straight. Oh my gosh, no. Is that straight? Yeah. Straight this is gonna be. All right, so on the front we wrote our like Pythagorean theorem 30, 60, 90, 45, 45, 90, right? On the back, down the side, I want you to write so, ka, toa. You can write it smaller. Alright, so the toa is what you need to know. I always put like a little space in between. Alright, so my first thing is so. Alright, that first letter tells me my trig function. Does that S represent sine, cosine, or tangent? Sine. So we have sine of x is going to be equal to what? What's that? O over H. Yeah? Good. We're just writing down what we already know. All right, and CAH, that C stands for what? Cosine. So cosine of an angle is going to be A over H. What's A over H? Adjacent over hypotenuse. We're getting there. And then the last part is TOA. That T stands for tangent, which is TAN of an angle, is going to be, what's O over A? Opposite over adjacent. So keep this card. I want you to use it on your quizzes, on your tests, whatever you need to, but this will help you tremendously. Just keep it on the side as we're doing these notes. Okay? Alright, let's go here. Find the sine, cosine, and tangent of angle S and express each value as simplified fraction, also a decimal rounded to 4 decimal places. And we're just going to do 2 decimal places. Up here it says mode on your calculator should be in degree. Grab your calculators. Let's practice this. In order to do trigonometry, it needs to be in degree mode, because if not, your numbers could be different. Here's how we turn our mode on. You guys see mode next to that second key, right? Hit mode. Go down to where it says radian and scroll over to where it says degree and hit enter so that degree is the one that's blinking. Once it's blinking, you can just scroll back up to the top and hit second mode to go back to your normal screen. So let's watch it again. Let's go to mode, scroll down, make sure that degree is the one that is highlighted, hit enter, and then hit second, quit to get out of the screen. That's good? So now our degree mode is on. Alright, so It told me to find the sine, cosine, and tangent of what letter? X, right? I want you guys to circle it with your pencil. Okay, because they told us angle S, that's what I was looking for. Okay, I'm always starting with that angle. Okay, so let's look at our picture first. We need the opposite, adjacent, and hypotenuse of this triangle. Let's start with hypotenuse. Is it 5, 12, or 13? 13. We can all agree on that, right? Okay. Now, opposite and adjacent. Which one is opposite of angle S? 5. And which one is adjacent? 12, because that side is touching angle S. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay, this is adjacent to angle S because it's touching it. 5 is opposite because it's on the opposite side of angle S. Okay? So, let's do my sine, cosine, and tangent. They want sine of which angle? S. So let's write sine of S. And I need for sine, look at your cheat sheet. Do I need opposite, adjacent, or hypotenuse? Opposite over what? Alright, so opposite. You need your opposite over hypotenuse, right? What's the opposite of angle S? We're going to label it. 5 over the hypotenuse. 13. Good. That's my fraction. Someone type this into your calculator, give me a decimal, and round it to 2 decimal places. 5 divided by 13. I got 0.38. What's that third digit? Yeah, so if it's less than 5, it stays the same. Okay, so sine of S would be 5 over 13, which equals 0.38. Alright, let's do cosine of S. For cosine, I need what? Adjacent over hypotenuse. Diana, what's my adjacent? 12. And what's my hypotenuse? 13. Type this in, what do you get as a decimal? 0.92. Alright, lastly we have our tangent of S. Tangent, I need opposite over adjacent. What's the opposite? 5 over 12. Good. Give me a decimal for that. 0.42. Good. Okay, so we're going to do, we're not going to do this whole page, but we're going to skip around so I can make sure that we can get through the important stuff. Alright, so it says solve the following for the variable. Okay, you guys see that this is sine 23 equals x over 15, right? Let's make this into a proportion. So put that sine of 23 over 1. Alright, Diana, how do I solve for x fifth? What can I do? Can we cross multiply?
Oh yeah, I was thinking
Yeah. Let's cross multiply. So 1 times x equals 1x. And then I have 15 times sine of 23. It doesn't matter if your 15 comes in the front or back. If you put it in the back, just make sure you close your parentheses. So go to your calculator. I'm going to type in 15 times, sine is like 2 steps above the 7. Alright, a parenthesis should pop up, and it was a what, 73 or 23? Thank you. What do you get for an answer? Okay, let's, set it round to the nearest 10. Let's just round to 1 decimal place. Okay, let's just keep it the same. Or from now on, it's the same. So let's do 5.9. That's my answer. Okay? We're gonna skip B. I want you to, B is just like A. Let's look at letter C. Tangent of 60 is equal to 3 over y. I'm going to make it a proportion, and then I'm going to cross multiply. 1 times 3 equals 3 equals, so y times tangent of 60. How do I solve for y here? No, how do I get y by itself? Not just 60. Right, divide by tan 60. Guys, this whole tangent of 60 is a package deal. You can't split it up. You can't just divide by 60. So we're going to divide both sides by the tangent of 60. Because now I can cross this out, and I'm left with y is equal to, let's go over our calculators. What was it? 3 divided by tan is 2 steps above 9, and it was 60, right? Yep, 1.7. You guys get that? Good. So y equals 1.7. Pretty easy, right? This part you guys should be good with because your algebra is pretty strong, so you should be able to solve for x or y. Let's go ahead and try, a few minutes until the bell. Let's look at letter A in example 4. Alright, it says use your trigonometric ratios. So look at your little cards. Okay, do you guys notice that I can't use the whole 30, 60, 90, 45, 45 because this is 52, right? That doesn't, you can't use special right triangles. We have to use trig here. So let's circle this angle. That's what's important to me. All right, they gave me 2 things that I can label. Out of opposite, hypotenuse, and adjacent, which one is 15? It's the hypotenuse. It's across from the right angle. What would x be? Adjacent or opposite?
Opposite.
Is it touching? Is that side touching this angle?
Opposite.
It's opposite. All right, look at your sheets here. Which trig function in SOHCAHTOA, which trig function has O and H? The sine, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to have sine of what angle? Sine of 52 is equal to, it's opposite over hypotenuse, right? What do we get for our opposite? X over what's my hypotenuse? 15. If we know how to label our picture correctly, we should be just fine. Alright, let's solve for this. Let's make it a proportion. 1 times x equals 1x. 15 times sine of 52 equals what?
11.82.
11.8?
Yeah.
Yep, I got the same thing. Should get 11.8. How many got together here? 19?
Yeah.
Okay. Does that make sense? All right, let's do the word problem. All right, in your word problem, we're gonna practice this a lot more next class, but at least want you to have the basics. Number 5, it says, a skateboarding ramp is 112 inches high and rises at an angle of 17 degrees. How long is the base? That's gonna be my x. Round to the nearest inch. All right, if I have a skateboarding ramp, let's pretend that's it. All right, it says, let's create a little triangle here. All right, so it's 12 inches high It rises at an angle of 17 degrees. How long is the base of the ramp? So there's my picture filled out. They didn't even ask how long the ramp is. We don't need to know that. All right, if we highlight our angle here, my angle is 17. Opposite, hypotenuse, or adjacent. What do we get for 12? That's my opposite. What do we get for x? Adjacent. Which trig function has OA? Tangent. Good. So I'm going to have tangent of what is my angle? Tangent of 17 is equal to opposite, which is over hypotenuse, or sorry, over adjacent, which is x. Okay? Let's put this over 1, and let's divide. 1 times 12 is 12. X times tangent of 17. I can't just type that in. I am going to divide both sides by tan 17. What do you get when you type in? That's gone. What do you get when you type in 12 divided by tangent of 17? I got 39.3. What's that second digit? Yeah. So 39.3 inches. Does this make sense what we're doing? All right, your homework is pretty short. I finished right in time. So we're going to go over more practice of this next class because this was pretty... And we also have Stinger, right? Yeah, we'll go over the Stinger next time. All right, your homework is page 14. It's only one page, 6 problems. All right, do your homework. Please, 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 please. What's today, Thursday? All right, have a good weekend. I'll see you on Monday. Actually, no, I won't.
Wednesday.
I won't see you guys till Wednesday, so please do your homework.
I'm gonna have I said.
Oh my gosh.